Hey everyone, I wanted to do a little video today because I've been doing rather a lot of thinking and talking about balance and what that means for me and for my clients as female entrepreneurs. Most of them are entrepreneurs, as you know. I concentrate on my time on empowering women and how they can rise up in the world and be better versions than they thought they ever could be, and how they can run their own businesses and bring in their own money, and how they do that whilst being a mum, because that really pulls on you, or being a wife or a girlfriend, with everything that traditionally falls on women. So we do quite a lot actually for equality and thinking about how we can change the world for women and men, but right now that tends to be how it exists. So I've been thinking about this topic of balance and how we can achieve more balance whilst being able to earn as an entrepreneur. That's a question, I think, on the thoughts and back burner of every entrepreneur that I talk to. So I've been writing some things down. This is my book. And I've been thinking about the three biggest challenges that I have in achieving balance. So I thought I'd share those with you, and then I'd like to know yours, if that's okay. So I'll share with you mine and then ask for yours. So the first three things, I think, in achieving balance, the first thing I have is guilt. Anyway, and I know that resonates with a lot of women. Guilt in when I'm working, I should be with Livy, or Mark, or when I'm with Livy and Mark, thinking, oh, I've just had a really good idea, but I can't implement it because that means leaving their side and going off and getting lost in the internet and stuff like that. So guilt has a big thing for me, and I know it does for many of the women I coach as well. So I've been working recently much more clearer on how to get clarity for that, and thinking about dividing my time up, and that does help to physically divide my time between being on the laptop and being in work mode, and then stopping that, shutting the lid and going somewhere else and being with them. And if I do have any thoughts creep in about either area of my life whilst I'm in the other area, then I just write it down so that I don't forget it, but I don't have to action it there and then. So that does help. The other thing that helps me is that is a hindrance actually rather in achieving balance is my state of mind. Because if my state of mind isn't focused and clear, and I don't have a direction, I find myself just like scrolling through Facebook, liking posts of kittens and things, like everybody else. I have been known to do that. And that's kind of nice for a short while, but it doesn't bring any money in, and it's not productive for me at all. So then I think about, well, how do I work on my state of mind? How do I make sure that is in the right place for the right moment? And what I have found is that moving my body really helps. So I'm fortunate enough at the moment to be living in Mallorca, as you know, and I have a swimming pool which is literally just there. And what I do is I just get my bikini on and I go for a swim. Now, for somebody else, when I was in the UK, that would be perhaps going for a walk around where I lived, which was full of fields and stuff, and that was really nice. But moving my body is really essential for me to be able to get my state of mind in the right place. And often it's so quick, it happens really quickly, that I'm able to just come straight back to my desk. Yes, dripping wet. Yes, wrapped in a towel. Yes, my chair is wet at times. So, but it's like I've got to capture the thing that I've thought of in that moment. So people in my house see me quickly running from the office to the pool, from the office to the pool. And I'm really lucky to be able to do that right now. But that's all part of actually building a sense of balance in my life as well. To be able to live somewhere like here is about building balance. So it's all part of the same story. The other thing that builds balance in my mind is writing. And I shall talk to you about that in a second. The other challenge I have in achieving balance is, I think, recognising that balance isn't 50-50. You think of balance and you think of some scales and you think of them being level and 50-50, but this is life. Oh gosh, and this is being human, and life isn't about 50-50. It's just not. I've just worked that out recently. Like last week, I had a tremendous headache for 3 days. And I just, for one whole day, had to be completely in bed. I could barely even open my eyes. I certainly couldn't focus on the screen. So even though I couldn't work and I couldn't do anything, actually just lying in bed and having Livy beside me, she was mostly very comforting and calming, mostly. I just soaked up the opportunity to be with her and to cuddle her and smell her and do all those lovely things with her. So to know that the balance shifts, and the other thing, of course, is having a small child, she's just 4, is knowing that if she needs me at that moment, that I can, and I have the opportunity to say no to work and to go to her. I have that choice because I've brought in a degree of balance in my life already, and I'm really proud to be able to do that for her. If she needs me, to be able to go, do you know what, don't work for the next hour, just be with her. Or Mark even, or somebody else that needs me. I like that balance, but by the same token, when I feel like I can really be in work mode, or if it's a Sunday and I've got loads of stuff I just want to churn out and just get done, I have the opportunity to do that too. So for me, balance isn't 50-50 entirely. It's about knowing that I'm a human and people need me, or opportunities need my attention, and I can be there. So those are my 3 biggest challenges in achieving balance: is guilt, state of mind, and knowing that balance isn't a 50-50 split. As an entrepreneur, they kind of overlap a little bit, and yours might too, because if you're an entrepreneur, I would like you to answer this for me too in the question, if you wouldn't mind. I'd really appreciate your help, because I'm trying to get my head around what it's like for other entrepreneurs as well, not just me. So state of mind is my very first one, which I had in my achieving balance one as well. State of mind, moving my body and writing. So I spoke about moving my body, but writing for me is a big thing. Pictures for somebody else is a big thing. I'm naturally a writer. I have been since I was a small child. And for me, just writing bullet points on a piece of paper about how I'm feeling right now, and it's not really to do with a to-do list, it's actually how I'm feeling. Noticing what's going on in my body, whether my shoulders are tight, or whether my heart's pounding, or whether I feel sick, or whether I'm agitated in my stomach, feeling all that, and write it down. And then instead of that, thinking, well, how do I want to feel, and writing that down. And then as I write those things down, introducing how I want to feel, then I start to feel those things, having written them down. So writing for me is a lovely way of getting my state of mind. And it's Monday today. That's what I did this morning. I sat down on my laptop about 12:30 when it was my turn to start work. This morning I was with Livy, and the first thing I had to do was, my mind was everywhere. I was split. I had to focus on my state of mind. So the first thing I did was get in the pool. Second thing I did was write down how I felt, what was going on in my body, and I really liked doing that. As an entrepreneur, the other thing that is a killer for me is comparison. I hate that, but you know what? I'm a normal human being, and I look at other people on the internet and on Facebook, and I look at their journeys and what they have achieved by, say, my age, which I'm sure goes back to a school thing, you know, when you were perhaps graded by age. I don't know where it comes from, but, you know, comparison is a killer. You know, they're doing this, they're earning that, they're bringing in this, they have this machine behind them, and I don't have that, or I don't have this. But actually all it leads to is me feeling a lack of somewhere, and then not quite knowing how to plug it, because I'm now in a negative state of mind and I can't be resourceful when I'm negative. So for me as an entrepreneur, comparing myself is a killer. And then lastly is technical stuff that I don't know how to do it stuff. The stuff that sounds really complicated when I'm thinking about marketing my business. And for that, more recently, in the last few months, I've brought in a mentor. You might know her on Facebook. She's Helen Vandenberg, and she's really good. But for me, having a mentor, and I've got a session with her in about an hour and a bit, is about helping me to focus. So it actually does all of these things. It helps my state of mind because I'm on the phone with her for actually on Skype, for a short amount of time. Really quick. How do I want to do this? What do I want to work on? Comparison she gets me with every time because she constantly reminds me that this is my journey and my heart and my work and my words, and I love her for that. And the technical stuff, actually she knows a lot more technical stuff than I do. So in your mentor, whatever you're doing, find somebody, like my clients do, find somebody who is that bit further ahead of you, that is not too far ahead that it's flipping scary because I can't possibly be her or be that person, but just a bit ahead of you that you can go, okay, for that I can go and she can help me get to there. Wind's kicking up a bit. Hey. So yeah, Helen helps me with the technical stuff, and also she has somebody else who mentors her and for the next level up, and she can go and be taught that bit. So the technical, I don't know how to do it stuff is a hindrance for me if I don't get that in check, sitting down with my head in my hands thinking, I don't know what to do. It sounds so easy, but why can't I achieve it? They could all block me if I chose to let them. I don't choose to let them. I recognise them. So I want to know, I want to do my research on this, and I would love your help. So I would like to know your 3 biggest challenges in achieving balance. You don't have to be an entrepreneur for this part, actually. But if you're a woman, I would love to hear from you. Your 3 biggest challenges in achieving balance. So you can write back on the form that I'm going to send a link to underneath. I would love you to do that because it's really clear for me and they'll all come into the same place for me. If you don't want to do that, and if you find this on Facebook, then please just comment. That would be equally good. And also, if you're an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur, your biggest challenges as an entrepreneur. So again, if you fill in the form, that will be sent to me and nobody else will see that. But if you don't mind sharing on Facebook, then already it might help some other people. So I'd really love to hear from you. What I'm going to do with that information is read it and understand it and soak it up. And I might come back to you and ask some further questions, if you don't mind, to say, what did you mean by that? Or how does that work exactly? Or what stops you? What happens when that happens? And then all of that can be put into the mix so that I can help my programs to develop, so that I can help women just like you and women just like me. So anyway, I've been talking for about 12 minutes. You've probably got other things to do. I've got to go back in my office and out of the sun and crack on preparing my call.